Greetings and salutations. If you're new to the channel, I want to thank you for stopping by. My name is Eric Moss. I am a motivational speaker and modern day performing strongman. If you're unfamiliar with what a modern day performing strongman is I perform feats of strength like bending steel bars, breaking chains, and more as part of a live show. I do this as part of a motivational speech to help bring it to life. In this video, I take you behind the scenes as I bring my motivational presentation to an agency within Pennsylvania where I go to inspire a group of case managers and more. I invite you to join me for the ride. Now, just a quick FYI, I forgot to actually record the motivational speech and feats of strength, but many of the people within the audience took pictures. So the pictures will tell the story in this video. Come along for the ride. So, when it comes to my adult audiences, there's going to be a bit of customization involved in terms of the motivational speech. See, I got to make it relevant, specific to the struggles that my audience members will be facing in their lives and careers. And in order to do this, what I do is I look to some of the interactions I've had with one of my personal training clients in the past who worked as a social worker. I think back to our many conversations that we've had. And I will also go onto YouTube because I know that with many vlogs out there, they'll put a day in the life of insert profession. And I've already kind of done this, but I'm going to do it again to just kind of refresh my memory. And so I find this one that I previously watched. I remember it had good info in it. And it is actually the comments from the people below that let me know what kind of struggles they're having. It is the day before the gig. I have about a half an hour before my next client shows up. So I'm getting in some last minute rehearsals before the show tomorrow. Take one. So now that I've nailed down your attention, I want to tell you something. I want to talk about the reason that I'm here. You know, I was really excited to take this gig on because I believe that you are so important. Every single one of you is so important. Take two. So now that I've nailed down your attention, I need to tell you something. You are important. What you do is so important. You know, I've gone on the record many times when I say that mental health is the next big frontier. And what you guys are doing in the trenches can be life-changing. You can change people's lives. And sometimes you might feel a bit overwhelmed. Sometimes you might not feel like you're good enough. Sometimes you might not feel like that you can continue this. But when I tell you my story, some of the things that I've overcome, and the things that I learned that allowed me to do the things that I can do, you'll know that you've got what it takes. You'll know that you are capable of more than you realize. See, when I was born, take three. So now that I've nailed down your attention, I want to tell you something. You are important. What you do is important. What you do can change lives. And don't get me wrong, I know that you have a tough career, especially after the past couple of years. And sometimes you might feel like you're overwhelmed. Sometimes you might question whether or not you've got what it takes, or whether you can continue going. But let me tell you, you are capable of so much more than you realize. And when you hear my story, some of the things that I've been through, and what I learned from my mentors that allow me to do the things that I can do, you'll know how much more you are capable of. You see, when I was born, when I was a little baby, take 4. So now that I've nailed down your attention, I want to tell you something. You are important. What you do is important. You know, I've said this many times before, but I believe that mental health is the next big frontier. And when it comes to mental health, what you do can change lives. And don't get me wrong, I know it's a tough career. We've been through some pretty tough years. Take 5. So now that I've nailed down your attention, I want to tell you something. You are important. What you do is important. You know, I've said this many times before, but I believe that mental health is the next big frontier in this country. And what you guys are doing, working in the trenches, can change people's lives. And I know that you're probably very passionate about what you do, but it might feel overwhelming. Sometimes you might feel like you don't have what it takes. But when you hear my story and the things that I've learned, you'll know that you are capable of so much more than you realized. I ended up having a pretty busy day, and it was pretty tiring. I had picked up the paving stone for my sledgehammer to the stomach feat, and immediately afterwards, I had a discovery call that wasn't originally scheduled, but I was like, you know what? Gotta strike while the iron is hot. So did that discovery call, created a proposal, ran off to work. I didn't even have time to eat, so I had to pick up something on the way to work. When I got home, played with my kids a bit, and I ended up falling asleep on the couch after dinner while my daughter made a mess on the floor. But 10:30 at night, and admittedly I'm pretty tired, but I still gotta pack up my stuff for tomorrow. Lock and chain, 6-inch spike, deck of cards, lag screw. I've already got some wrenches packed, frying pan, New Jersey license plate, copy of my book available on Amazon, structural steel bar. There we go. 5/8 reinforcing steel bar for my finale feat.
Let's go.
And now we are off. So I got back from the presentation a little while ago, a couple hours ago. I went straight from where I was performing to my personal training studio, and my last client just walked out the door, so I wanted to get the recap while it's still fresh on my mind before I go home and play with my kids. I thought the show went really, really, really well. You know, I was really excited to do this one because I've said this many times before, but I believe that mental health is the next big frontier. And when I said this to the audience, it really seemed to resonate with them because they know it. They know that they are in the thick of it and they are going through struggles. And I'm happy that maybe some of the things that I said resonates with them and help get them through the tough times that are associated with their chosen career. With the energy that I was getting from them, I feel like it helped me put on a better performance in terms of the message delivery. Because sometimes when you're on stage, you can hear yourself talk, and sometimes you are, sometimes you're just better than others. And I felt that this was one of the better ones. I also believe they thought it because I ended up getting a standing ovation at the end. That is always a good sign. Several people talked to me and were interested in buying books from me. So that was also a really good sign. The feats, for the most part, went pretty well. The one exception to that was the license plate. I struggled with the license plate more than I normally would. I'm not really sure why that is. I had ripped a license plate that was the same make of it earlier in the week, and that one was pretty easy. I don't know why this one was so tough. It is what it is. There's always variance in materials. That standing ovation that I got at the end, whenever I get those, it always means a lot. It's like one person stands up and you start to think to yourself, it's like, oh my God, is this happening? And then 2 and 3 and then 4, and then all of a sudden everybody stands up to say that they really appreciated the show, and that is just such a phenomenal feeling. Everybody that I spoke with afterwards was so friendly and so easy to talk to, and I really enjoyed interacting with them. It's actually one of my favorite parts is like when I do like meet and greet stuff and having lunch with people. It was great having a conversation with them. So one of the things also is going back to the whole my message resonating with them. I really do truly believe that mental health is the next big frontier in this country. So them being in the trenches, seeing it every day, I'm hoping that my message can carry them through some of the tough times ahead, because I know just from reading other people's YouTube comments that sometimes they feel overwhelmed that they don't have what it takes, but we need those people doing what they do in order to help out more people that really truly need it. Also the one, I guess, mark, and that wouldn't be for the performance itself, and it's a shame, but I forgot to bring my video camera inside. I forgot to record the entire thing, and it was one of the better performances that I thought, and I just wish I could have captured it. However, I do know that some people captured it on video, and they plan on sending it to me. So I'm going to see if, like, what you saw was audience shot footage. So I'm hoping that it came out great, but I guess we'll see. I'll see it when I do the final upload of this video. But anyways, that is it for today. If you enjoyed the content, please let me know by hitting that like button. If you think anybody should see this, please share it with them. If you want to see more of this sort of thing, subscribe to the channel. This isn't rocket science. If you have questions for me, ask it in the comments below, and I'll try to get back to you with your very own custom video. Pretty cool, right? But that is it for today. In the meantime, please stay happy, healthy, and strong. Eric Moss, over and out.